Before you can start your personal narrative, we first need to talk about what it is exactly and how you might want to structure your plot. So, the first thing that we need to look at is the difference between a narrative, an autobiography, and a memoir. So, an autobiography or a biography is a full life story. So, for this, you were thinking the autobiography of Malcolm X or the Steve Jobs autobiography by Walter Isaacson. These are a rundown of the person's full life story. A memoir is a little bit shorter. It takes a section of someone's life. So it takes a briefer period of time from someone's life. So, for example, A Long Way Gone by Ishmael Ba was about his time as a child soldier in Sierra Leone. That is an example of a memoir. The last one, the one that you guys are going to be doing, is a personal narrative. So a personal narrative is a single event from your life. So it's just one important event that happened in your life. So for example, I've had people write about a time they got lost in a cornfield, or how they learned to ride bike, or when they moved, or when their parents got divorced. You're thinking of one event from your life, not a whole big series of events. One way to do this is to use the narrative diamond. So the narrative diamond is a way to structure a personal narrative that might be a little easier than your typical plot structure that you think about in a full story. So it looks like this when you map it out. The first part, we want an entertaining beginning. So we want something that hooks our readers in and gets them really interested. It might be funny, it might be suspenseful right away, it might be action-packed right away. This is going to be a really important part where you are picking your words very carefully so that it draws your reader in. The next part is elaborate detail. So this is where you're going to be setting up your character, your setting, your objects. You're going to set everything up, and you want your reader to really be able to visualize it. So it's important that you are picking your details here very carefully so that your readers can envision what's going on. Then we get into suspense. So this is all the anticipation, all of the things that lead up to our main event. This is the part where you are building momentum so that we can get to the main event. In the main event, this is where your actions should slow down a little bit. We should be able to imagine each movement or each part of the main event slowly. We should see every little detail playing out frame by frame. So this part should be stretched way out. So if you were doing riding a bike, this would be the time when you are successful. So you wouldn't just say, and then I got on my bike and I started pedaling and I didn't fall down. Like that's not enough. You would have to stretch it out. I put my left foot on the pedal first. My right foot shook with anticipation. Drag it out so that we can really see and feel and imagine all of the feelings and actions that are taking place. Then we need to start bringing the main event to an end. So the action leading to the solution or the conclusion of your adventure. So if we're doing the riding the bike one, this might be where you're coming to the end of your first successful ride and you're riding up toward your house or towards your parents who are so excited for you. And then the end. So the extended ending is kind of like an ending that lets us know what your overall idea or feeling or wish. It wraps everything up, but leaves your reader thinking about how this applies to their own lives. So the suspense, main event, and your solution part This might all be part of the same event. So if it's the riding the bike, it might be like all that same successful bike ride that happens right there. So today, what you're going to do is you are going to read Big Boy by David Sedaris. And I hope you think it's funny. As you read, think about how this story fits the narrative diamond, because then I'm going to have you mark up the story so that you can show us where you think each part of the narrative diamond begins and ends. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to have this in front of you as you're going through your story.